In 1939, Europe was not just changing. It was breaking. Borders moved, cities trembled, and one power began turning fear into a map. Germany moved with terrifying speed. Tanks rolled through streets, soldiers marched forward, and civilians watched history become something they could not stop. France, once seen as strong, collapsed faster than the world expected. Paris grew quiet, and Europe felt the first real shock. Now Britain stood alone. An island surrounded by water, fire, and fear, waiting for help that, in this timeline, would never come. London burned under the night sky. Sirens screamed, bombs fell, and every explosion asked one question: how long can Britain survive alone? Across the ocean, America watched. Safe, distant, untouched. But silence in moments like this can change the future forever. Inside empty rooms, no decision came. No declaration. No entry. No moment where America stepped into history. The Atlantic stayed empty. No convoys. No troops. No lifeline crossing the ocean to keep Britain alive. Soon, Britain began to choke. Food ran low, fuel disappeared, and ordinary people felt the cost of isolation. The Royal Navy fought under pressure. Every ship mattered. Every loss made Britain's last line of defense weaker. Then came the impossible choice. Keep fighting alone until collapse, or negotiate with the darkness closing in. And then, no D-Day. No landing crafts. No soldiers on the beaches. Just waves where liberation should have arrived. Without liberation, Europe stayed trapped. Streets grew quiet, fear became normal, and occupation became everyday life. Resistance faded in shadows. Radios went silent, papers burned, and brave voices disappeared before history could remember them. Then Germany turned east. The map shifted again, and the next target was the Soviet Union. Operation Barbarossa became even more dangerous. Endless tanks, frozen roads, and a war machine pushing deeper into the unknown. But this time, no American aid arrived. No trucks, no supplies, no lifeline to keep the Soviet system moving. Moscow came under threat. Snow covered the streets, artillery flashed in the distance, and an empire stood near the edge. Factories slowed. Railways broke. Command rooms filled with panic. The Soviet system began to crack under the pressure. And then Europe changed forever. One dark empire spread across the continent, swallowing cities one by one. Meanwhile, Japan expanded across Asia. Warships moved through the Pacific, and island after island fell under pressure. China and Southeast Asia suffered deeply. Streets filled with smoke, families ran through rain, and fear crossed borders. Pacific trade routes were cut off. Oceans that once connected nations now became walls controlled by warships. Even Australia felt the threat. The war was no longer far away. It was moving closer, wave by wave. America stayed safe, but isolated. Protected by oceans, yet surrounded by a world being shaped without it. In American homes, families listened to the radio, hearing history happen elsewhere, not knowing their own future was shrinking. After the war, Europe did not rebuild the same way. Ruins stayed ruins, and hope arrived too late. No NATO formed. No strong Western alliance rose. The world had no clear shield against the next empire. Other powers shaped the future. Borders were moved, nations were divided, and America watched from the edge of history. Without the war, America's rise slowed. Factories stayed quiet, power stayed limited, and the superpower moment never arrived. Even culture changed. Hollywood did not conquer the world the same way, and America's voice became much smaller. Technology took a darker path. The race for ultimate power continued, but now in different hands. The Cold War never formed the same way. Without two balanced giants, the world became either controlled or divided. Freedom faded quietly. Not all at once, but slowly through silence, fear, censorship, and control. And that is the real twist. The world you know may exist only because America made one decision at the right moment.